It's way too early, but it's never too early. We're talking Big Ten rankings way, way, way in the spring season and Gophers NFL draft here today at the Gopher Broke Pod. What up, y'all? It's the Gopher Broke Podcast. I'm Kane Rob. We're joined here with our co-host, Tristyn Spann-Ford, ready to jump in on some Gophers talk for you. There's been a lot of things to catch up on, unfortunately, and fortunately, I guess. We missed last week. There were some things going on. Tristyn's whole family was sick. Meanwhile, my boy was turning 1, so it was just all over the place. It was time to take a breather, but we're back at it, and we're catching up, and we are going to have some good ones for you. And to make up for it, we'll get a second show. I'm going to bring on someone from Rivals with the Gophers, and he's going to talk recruits. We're going to talk recruits for 2025, 2026, and beyond. And, Tristyn and I, we love the Gophers. We love all the insights, but, we're not tapped in like that with the recruits, so we're going to bring someone who is to come and talk with you on that. So be sure to hit subscribe over on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts at the Gopher Broke Podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Tunes, all of that. If you can't find us on yours, let us know and we'll get it up there. But leave a 5-star review. Tell people about the show. We got to get this Gophers crew going. Tristyn, how you feeling today, man? How's it going?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Like you said, we were going through it last week. It's just all these kids. We live in a petri dish, and the illnesses just run through this joint. So it was by about that time, and actually Thursday. It was my birthday on Thursday, and so I was feeling good. Got up. Kids are sick. One of them's throwing up. One of them is fever all night the prior before, and then it snowed. My snowblower broke. So we were going through it on Thursday. So my apologies. That was partially my fault that we didn't have the show. So
Hey.
But I'm feeling good now. We're back at full strength. Everyone is where they should be. It's good. It's good.
We're on good vibes. It's the off season. People weren't dying over that.
Exactly.
And you know what? If they were, we're back. So now you
Yep.
don't have to die anymore. We're back at it.
Yep.
We're going to talk gripe of the day. Tristyn, let me know ahead of time. No gripes. No gripes.
Yep.
I mean, walking petri dish, he's accepted that at this point. So, you can't even gripe about that anymore. But I've got one for you. Like I said, son's first birthday. And you know what? I'm to the point where, family members, I'm not talking just my parents or anything like that. I'm just family members in general, right? Family, because I know some of my family members will probably listen to this too. I'm not speaking directly to you, but maybe if it hits home, it might be for you too. But basically, my gripe is y'all been through it. Y'all raised me, your children, your children's children. You've been through it all. You've had experiences, and I get that, and I appreciate that. But also, if I'm like, hey, don't do that, or hey, don't give him that, don't give him that. There's a reason I'm saying don't give him that. So I'm just like birthday party, family, oh, we can sneak him a little bit extra of this, a little bit extra of that. Okay, but you don't have to deal with the aftermath. You don't have to deal with the puking or the pooping or whatever else is going to happen. All of the orifices are having issues, and I'm trying to prevent those issues. So if I say don't do that, don't do that. So all the excited grandparents, great-grandparents, nephews, or I guess aunts, uncles, any of that, if the parents say no, just take the no.
Oh boy. Welcome, my friend. This feels so good. This is about to turn into just a group therapy session that we're about to have.
We're not even going to talk Gophers anymore. It's
just a parenting podcast now. It's just dads getting it off our chest. Because I feel you to my core. It is, and it won't stop, no matter what. It will not stop. My mother is the worst. Every time we'll be trying to leave the house. Are you sure? Do you guys want something to eat? Mom, we're walking out the house. Make a whole 3-course meal for these kids. I'm getting my shoes on. I tell them to get their shoes on, and they're like, nope. Like Grandma said, we can eat. We're having ice cream. We're having candy. She's heating us up something. it is no matter what, it just will not stop. So I would love to give you good advice, but there's none. They won't stop.
You know what?
But that's the goal. That's the goal, is to be a grandparent. Nobody wants to be a parent. Everyone wants to be a grandparent. It's just you got to go through one to get to the other. That's the issue.
Now I want to preface. It's not just grandparents. It's great grandparents. It's aunts. It's uncles. It's all of it. And I'm just here to say, you know, there's a reason. And I know you don't have to take care of it, but I don't want to take care of it either. So, I mean, we have a platform now. I can put that out there, but we'll steer back to what people tap in for. We'll talk Gophers. We're going to talk some big news, big departures for the Golden Gophers, especially on the coaching front. Tristyn, I know when I texted you, you were not ready for it, but I just was like, oh no. And I sent him the tweet. Coach Winston Delattboudere heading out, leaving the Gophers. And my hopes, my happiness, it was zapped a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you, because I've mentioned on this podcast time and time again, I'd run through a wall for that man. So I get why the NFL came calling. And I don't blame him, because the NFL, if they come calling, that's NFL money. And NFL money, you don't pass up on. So I get it, but man, oh man, it cut deep. How are you feeling hearing that Coach Winston Delattboudere is headed off to the Cardinals?
I mean, I have to preface this by saying, exactly, go get your bread. He's going to do amazing, amazing things. That guy he is on a trajectory that I think a lot of people are going to know who his name is around the league coming up in these next 5 years or so. He's awesome. He's a super nice guy. Gutted, just pain. And it made me feel like I was like, dang, we almost can't talk about people on the pod, because as soon as we start talking about people, they out. Yeah, like, it's crazy. The Gopher Broke curse is not fun. And so I was bummed out, but it's such a weird spot to be in, because you're just so happy for him, but also you're like, but maybe just stay. Like, right. Yeah, I want you to grow, but maybe don't.
Right. No, I feel that. And like, you could tell that this team, and especially his position group, his guys, that defensive line, they would go to war for this man. Like, they would die for him. Like, he just brings the vibes. He brings the energy. He gets down in the dirt with these guys, runs through the mud with them. And you can tell the energy, the confidence of that room elevated immediately when he was hired here with the Golden Gophers. So definitely not a shock or a surprise to the point of an NFL or a higher level wanted to get him involved with their squad, because it's much well-deserved. Now, absolutely. My first thought hearing this news, I was like, all right, let him go crush it in the NFL. And then if Danny Collins ever gets poached from us, because, everybody's poaching our defensive coordinators nowadays. Danny Collins gets poached. Ayo, Winston, come on back. Let's make it happen. So I was like, will it ever happen? We'll see what happens. But I have hope now. Because I went to Winston Delattboudere Instagram, and he said, very thankful to the land of 10,000 lakes for welcoming me back with open arms. Hopefully our paths cross again.
There it is.
Hey.
And he put that on Instagram. It's pretty much legally binding.
I'm speaking it into existence. Coach Winston Delattboudere will be back one day. Hopefully it's after, Danny Collins is balling out, and then he's going to be a head coach, and we need a new DC. And it's like, yo, come on back. Come back home.
I would love
it. Where the spot's open, seats warm. We're ready for you. But it didn't stop there, Tristyn. It didn't stop there, because we get the replacement. The replacement is Dennis Doten-Carter. He was working with the Russians here in Minnesota last year, so he has familiarity with the room. The guys know him. It was going to work out cool. And then we got another punch. Because Nick Anderson-Luke, I might have flipped his last name. I always do that. But running backs coach, that's what you need to know. He was like, guess what? I got an NFL offer too. I'm headed to the Jets, and we're going to go be the running backs coach for the Jets. And I was like, God damn, what is happening? I'm like, yo. Like, shouts out to PJ, because you are grabbing guys that just are on that trajectory. They have the high potential. They have those traits that they're ready to just take off and kind of springboard from Minnesota. And I love that, especially if it's going to the NFL. If it's going to other Big Ten schools, like, get out of here. I don't care if it's Ohio State. I don't care if it's Michigan. I know the dollars are bigger. I know we got money down in the depths here in Minnesota with our assistant coaches, but like that one cuts a little deep. The NFL, cool. I got you. Go take it.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
two within like a week and a half. How you feeling? How you feeling?
it's tough. It is tough, and like you said, we are definitely on a path where in a couple of years we might be seeing the NFL graphic, the coaching tree. It'll be the PJ Fleck coaching tree. All these guys who are now coordinators and coaches places all came from the Gophers coaching tree, which would be awesome. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to not understand leaving to go to the NFL. That's the one situation where it's like, well, yeah, I guess you got to go. Like you got to go.
Right.
So it's tough, but I hate that our running back room, like we got a lot of transfers in.
Stacked, bro. Stacked.
Like we have a ton of dudes, and so I'm hoping that doesn't affect guys' decisions because the commitments don't mean anything. So
Right.
I hope that doesn't affect anyone's decisions. So that's where
No,
my concern is.
I'm with you 100%. I feel like maybe we would have saw it quickly after, but I guess maybe the portal was closed at that point, so they couldn't. And the spring will open the portal back up, so we'll find out real quick and in a hurry. But we did make the hire. It's not official, but they're bringing in Jaden Everett, who's going to come and take that running back's position. Now, he's been a running backs coach at some capacity for quite some time now. He was a running backs coach at the community college level in 2011, 2012, then at his alma mater, Indiana State, for 2013 to 2015, actually through 2016. 2017, 2018, he was with Central Michigan as a running backs coach. 2019, 2020, Akron with a running backs coach. 2021 to 2022, Tulsa with a running backs coach. Then he makes his way to the Power 5 level, goes to the SEC with Vanderbilt, gets a freshman as the freshman of the year for the running backs out there. Or I guess, yeah, I think he was freshman of the year for the running backs out there. Big accolade that Vanderbilt isn't used to seeing too often. So he's put in work. And then last year, assistant running backs coach with the Michigan Wolverines. So look, he's been doing running backs coaching for quite some time. You love to see that. The biggest thing for me with this move was like Darius Taylor has flat out said like his relationship with Nick is like father-son relationship. Like even though Nick wasn't the coach that he committed to here with the Gophers, like that's how tight they got in that span. Like he would go to him for advice, he would go to him for life lessons, he would go to him with like any problems or troubles or thoughts or anything like that. So like to lose that type of relationship definitely cuts deep. But I mean, Darius has said time and time again he wants to be here. He loves the brotherhood
Yeah,
here. He loves the program. He has great relationship with Fleck. Nick Anderson Luke was another one that was like a tight one for him. So hopefully that relationship still goes really well with this new guy coming in. I can't imagine that they would hire this guy without Darius Taylor being like, yeah, I'm excited about him or anything like that. So we'll see what happens there. But also, deep down in the back of my head, I don't know if you've thought about this, but his running backs coach goes to the NFL. You got to be thinking like he might be like, "Yo, DT, you can come out next year. You got one team
exactly.
that's for sure gonna be bringing you on, and if you know what I mean, like you're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be."
no, he's definitely as soon as he declares he's gonna be circling DT's name. Like, hey, do you guys want to check this dude out? You want to check him out? I mean, I don't think that he's gonna have any issues getting any looks from any NFL
Right,
teams,
right.
but I think again it'll be nice that he's not going to another college because I know like even and obviously not personal experiences with like Brev when coaches would go like when was it Patterson who's here before they still like they'll keep in touch and those guys like when they have those relationships they last and especially the coaches on this staff like it seems like they're really upstanding men like they're not just trying to be like peace and not
Right.
gonna communicate anymore. So I think that's also like hey, I'm a text away, holla at me if you need anything. And I don't see Darius. I don't think he wants to go anywhere. I just don't. I think this is where he wants to be too, but not fun. Not fun. The changes, and I'm sure they're not done yet, right? Like
I
we got a
mean,
lot of off season
hopefully the
left.
coaching staff ones are done at this point. But there's going to be some spring moves from players after we see what these
Yeah,
depth charts start to look like, or if people aren't getting enough reps with ones and twos or things like that. You're definitely going to see some transfers out at the end of the spring, but hopefully it's nothing overly critical.
yeah.
All right. Well, one thing I was gonna say too, but my excuse for that went out the window recently. I was gonna say so. Darius Taylor, I believe he's dating one of the women's basketball players, Kennedy Click, as well. So like,
There you
he's
go.
staying, bro. He's staying. Like his
Yeah,
girlfriend's on the basketball team. Like I was gonna be like, it's locked. But then I also realized apparently Martez Lewis was dating Sophie Hart on the basketball team and he just transferred. So that excuse went out the window. You can't, nothing's safe anymore, friends.
yeah.
Nothing is
Driver's
safe.
girlfriend plays for Penn State. We just look at us. We're all into the
We're
relationships.
tapped
You're
in, bro.
not
We
getting
might
this
not know
content
future
anywhere
recruits.
else.
Right. We might not know future recruits too well, but we'll tell you who they dating, bro.
We
We
know who they
got you.
dating, where they ate breakfast, what kind of food they like.
What's the favorite spot to go? Like all right, well, let's shift it on over a little bit to the NFL because the Gophers are geared to potentially have one of their best draft classes, maybe their best draft class of all time. They actually just broke their record for NFL Combine invites for Gophers players. They got six of them. Six of them. They got a whole six players going, kind of six and a half, maybe even almost seven, because Dragan Kesich is also going to be participating in some of the specialists' workouts or reps or things like that. Not necessarily there as a combine invite, but still being active in there, present. So kind of seven in a way. But
It counts.
Ariante Ursary, Ja Joyner, Justin Wally, Cody Lindenberg, Daniel Jackson, and Max Brosmer. Those are your six Gophers headed to the NFL Combine. How you feeling? Any of those names surprise you at all? Any of those names that you're like, yo, I can't wait, he's gonna pop off, or anything that stops out to you with those six names?
Definitely not. I'm not surprised by any of the names for sure after what we've seen out of all of them. I mean, I was super. I know we talked about like Daniel Jackson, a couple of those guys, kind of on the fence, not knowing, didn't get an invite quite yet. So I was super excited once they actually received those invites. But I wouldn't say I'm surprised by any of them. I'm super excited. I think especially for guys like Cody. I'm excited for him to get in rooms with these GMs, with these head coaches, because that's going to set him apart. Like that type of stuff,
The board
being
work and the
intelligent
interviews and things like that.
is gonna make him pop. So I'm really excited that they're getting those opportunities. So
I think that's 1000%. Both Cody and Max Brosmer. I think, like, yes, they'll impress on the field. I think Cody should test well speed wise, maybe even strength wise too. He's Cody's an athletic freak. Like when he's
oh
healthy,
yeah,
the dude is an athlete, plain and
yeah,
simple. Max Brosmer, I think he shows decision making well on the field and things like that. But like you love his release. I think his release will impress people. The speed of his ball will impress people, but I'm not sure the big arm is necessarily what you get when you get Max Brosmer. But both Cody and Max, I think they're biggest parts of this combine is going to be when you sit in the room with the GM, with the position coach, with the head coach, like the whole squad's in there and they're like, here's what our concepts are, here's this, here's that, like you need to learn all this, blah, blah, blah. All right, now here's some of your film. Let's talk about why you made this decision, why you did this, why you did that. Walk me through what you're thinking. And then like 20, 30 minutes later, they're like, all right, remember that concept I told you at the beginning? Put that up on the board and tell me what we're doing and how we run this and blah, blah, blah. They are going to pass that type of stuff with flying colors. They're going to
oh yeah.
absolutely rock that. Cody Lindenberg and Max Brosmer are built for that setting, and I think that could move them up on some draft boards coming up.
No, I 100% agree. That's right where my mind went to right away. Is I think that's going to be the biggest part of the combine for them.
Yeah, no, so we'll keep you posted on anything we hear from the combine. I am going to be out at the Gophers Pro Day this year as well, so you can follow me at Gophers Kane Rob, and I'll tweet some of the things and testing things that we get there. But if any of these guys absolutely crush it at the combine, they might not do Pro Day workouts. They might be on hand and help out. Well, Max is going to throw for the guys for sure, but I mean, like overall, we'll see how the combine goes and then evaluate from there.
Oh yeah.
But when we're talking about those guys, I want to have some fun with this. I want you to first, we're going to go through all of these guys real quick and either guess what round they'll get drafted in or if they go undrafted. And then we're going to come back through it again and we're going to name the teams, the dream team that you wish that player would land on. So we're going to go through first, like I said, and guess what round people go in. So first up is Ariante Ursary.
I honestly have him going late first round. I mean, I think second for sure, but being Gopher Homer, you're gonna get some optimism out of me right now. But I think he could go first round late. Like he's one of the best our best offensive tackles in the league. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I want to so bad, but I'm gonna
Do
go
it.
with second round.
Do it.
I'm gonna go with early second round because I feel like every time, even when I was with lockdown, I would start predicting like where I saw people going, and like I was like Newman, bro, back of the first, let's do it. John Michael Schmitz, back of the first, let's do it. Boye Moffitt, back of the first, let's do it. I'm not setting
It's
myself
hard
up
not to.
to get
It's
hurt.
hard not to.
I'm saying Ariante. You know what? I'm gonna say early second round. If you go back in the first, I'm gonna be standing on my couch, jumping up and down, having a ball. I'm gonna be so happy for you. I'm gonna be like, you're my family member. I'm gonna be that
It,
happy.
love that.
But I'm gonna say early second round. All right, next name we got here going, Ja Joyner.
I got Ja. I mean, again, optimistically, fifth round, but I think realistically, probably sixth round guy. He's going to be also proven. I think the combine is going to be huge for him too. So I'm going to say sixth round.
Yeah, I think the combine athletically, he'll measure really well, and it'll
Yeah,
come down to like the speed that he puts up. I know he was one of the faster times at one of the Senior Bowl days as well. I also my gut tells me fifth round, but I'm gonna be a little more optimistic. I'm gonna push to fourth round because the edge rush position is such an important position in the NFL level of football. You just saw it with the Eagles, who absolutely dominated, who we call one of the best quarterbacks on the planet to ever play the game, and probably the best quarterback in the league currently.
yeah.
And he got just absolutely worked by the Eagles defensive line. The speed, the athleticism, the bend, all of that. Josh Joyner has that. He might not be a first or second round type guy, but to see that athleticism, to see the intangibles that he has with the measurements that he has, I think that will perk up somebody, and I think I'm going to go fourth.
I agree. Okay.
All right, next up we got our boy Justin Wally. How you feeling about the cornerback? Justin Wally, 4-year starter. Maybe he was a 5-year starter. I might be tripping on that one.
I think it might be five because
How you feeling about Justin Wally?
I got round 6 for Justin Wally.
Okay.
He's got a lot of film. I think that's what's going to help him a lot. Like he's taken a lot of snaps. Like he's got a ton of film out there. And again, I mean, combine's huge, but he was coming off an injury, correct?
Yes, he was doing some cleanup stuff. That's why he didn't participate in the Shrine Bowl. He was invited, but he didn't participate because he's still rehabbing, coming back from some cleanup stuff after the
Fair.
season.
I think, yeah, I'm going to say sixth round.
I'm gonna go fifth, and I'm
Okay.
gonna say fifth because I don't think the cornerbacks class in this is like one of the best cornerbacks classes that, from what I've
True.
seen and heard. I'm not saying it's a bad one, but then I go back and I look at like Terrell Smith. I think Justin Wally was more productive per se than Terrell Smith during his time with the Gophers, and I think Terrell Smith went in the fifth round. So I think it'll be something similar. And seeing as he got a combine invite, even though he didn't participate in any of those bowls or anything like that, I think there
He's
are
already
some teams that are probably interested. So I'm going to say he gets in there in the fifth round.
okay.
All right, next up, I'm going to save him. We're going to go to Max Brosmer. Max Brosmer, where do you think he gets drafted? I'm going to say I think he does get drafted, though. The more and more I'm reading the tea leaves, you get a combine invite, you play really well at the Shrine Bowl, aside from the actual game itself, where he didn't play that much in general. Um, I'm going to go. Oh, man, I want you to go first because I'm trying to talk myself into this, but I just
Yeah,
don't.
no, I think we're actually on the same page because that's kind of where I was. I was thinking undrafted at first, and then everything kind of piled up for him. Like everything started to work out. He started to light it up at the Senior Bowl. And then he gets the combine invite, and now I'm kind of thinking like he could go seventh round. Like why not seventh round? Especially if he impresses at the combine. I don't like if he got drafted in the sixth round, I'd be like whoa. And if he got drafted in the seventh round, I'd be like yeah, that's about right. If he didn't go drafted, I'd be like eh.
Bro, lock me in. I'm
You know
going
what I'm saying?
sixth. I'm going sixth. Let's
Oh,
do it. Tom Brady got drafted in the sixth round. Max
here we
Brosmer,
go.
go make it happen. I'm not saying he's going to be Tom Brady, but you know what? He might be the Tom Brady of backup quarterbacks in the NFL. So let's get it. Max Brosmer,
Love it.
sixth round. I got you there. Let's make it happen. All right. now's where it's going to start to we're going to start to walk a line here, and I'm going to say this, we say it with love, we want every single one of y'all to get drafted, but like
All of
it doesn't always go that route, and that doesn't mean your NFL journey is done. Look at Brev making the team as
Yep.
an undrafted free agent. Look at Jack Gibbons, who made the team as an undrafted free agent and actually was extremely productive on that front. I believe Thomas Rush, I think he was on practice squad, but he was still hanging around. Blaze Andrews, so you can still make it happen.
Oh
Kokeef
yeah.
was 6th round though, right? 6th round,
He's
Kokeef.
still. Oh, he's still
Still
playing. He's
productive,
getting
productive
snaps.
guy. All right. Next name I got for you is your boy Danny Sturgow. Where you got him going, or do you think he has to put it in the hard way?
Danny Sturgow is going to be put it in the hard way, and he is going to be a guy that we're going to be like, it's going to be Chris Collinsworth. Now, here's a guy who went undrafted and has just been a monster since he got into the league. Like that's what it's going to be. We're going to be seeing little hit pieces on him on the side in a few years because he's going to have to get it out the mud. So I think he goes undrafted, signs somewhere, and then lights it up.
I'm gonna go like late 7th round. I think someone's gonna fall in love with the person Danny Sturgow, especially
Oh
like
yeah,
the last second like Senior Bowl swoop in, the like super
that's
productive and impressive at the Hula Bowl, like just team first mentality, always just wants to play ball. Like somebody's gonna be like in the 7th round, yep. Like I
why
need
not?
the person
Yeah,
more than the player. We can shape the player. He's
yeah,
productive in college, and the person is a plus material. So I'm gonna say late 7th. I could be completely wrong there, but I'm gonna speak it into existence. One I
love it.
missed before we get into these scrappy ones, Cody Lindenberg. He's definitely gonna get drafted.
Oh yeah,
If he
yeah, yeah, yeah.
doesn't get drafted, like bro, I know I've said some wild things on the show, but like I've said, like I'll eat a jar of mayonnaise or things like that. Like I will take a shot of like pure apple cider vinegar on this show if Cody Lindenberg doesn't get drafted. That's how confident
I
I am.
I actually have him being. I have him going like 5 or 4. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I think he's like. I think he's just in it. What would you? I don't know if you'd call Minnesota like a small market. Like I think he just doesn't have eyes on him. And
yeah.
as soon as he did, once he got to the Senior Bowl, like all the news again, we're in the algorithm is just Gopher stuff. But I think he made noise. He made a splash there. Like people are like, who is this guy? So I think
Right.
he's going to get to the combine and his numbers are going to impress.
Well, and he's the Gopher linebacker that made it to the Senior Bowl invite and got there and popped off. I mean, like, you
Yeah.
talk about Gophers, the Gophers linebackers that have gotten to the NFL have been late picks or they've been undrafted guys, and they're
Hmm.
just productive. Like, Kamal
Yes.
Martin has made it the hard way, or he made it in the 6th round, I think, but still got there in the later stages. Blake Cashman did
Yep.
it as a scrappy guy. Jack Gibbons, like I said, Carter Coughlin has found his way into the NFL and stayed on rosters multiple years. Cody Lindenberg has been touted as, by PJ Fleck, the best linebacker that he has worked with across his coaching years. Like he's like the most athletic, he's the smartest, he's the this, that, and the other. PJ Fleck is going to be saying those things at this pro day when he's talking to these GMs and coaches and they're asking questions and things like that.
Hmm.
And like I said, he's an athletic freak. I think I'm right there with you. I think Cody could be the second highest Gopher drafted in this behind Arion
That's what I
Street.
think he has because you just put him on the field. You don't have to coach him during the game. You coach him off the field. You don't have to coach him during the day. You know he knows what he's doing when he sees what he sees and what he needs to check into or check out of. He's gonna be fine. Like you don't have to worry about him. He's low maintenance.
All right, we got a couple more names to get through here on this one. The first one is Daniel Jackson. What do you got? What do you got?
D-Jack. Oh man. I was torn with him too. I wrote down 6. I wrote down round 6. And I would love for him to go higher because I think he deserves to go higher. I really think would you say he's maybe the most underrated of the players or the most
Absolutely.
disrespected of all the Gophers in the draft? I think he's the
Absolutely.
most underrated by everyone. So I have 6 on here, but if a team knows what's good for him, they're going to want to take him earlier than that. Like he's the real deal.
Bro, my gut, and it makes me sick, is saying that he's going to go undrafted. And I've fallen a long way. I think I was the person that was like, he's a lock, put it in, blah, blah, blah. My gut is saying that unless he absolutely just freak show impresses at the combine, which I would love, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did it.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to split the difference between you and my gut, and I'm going to say seventh round. I think he gets in there. Gophers have a couple late picks between him and Strigow for me. Now, I'm going to fly
Mhm.
through a bunch of names, and I just want you to tell me if you think any of them get drafted or if they're all doing it the hard way. We got Tyler Cooper, offensive line, Quinn Carroll, offensive line, Dragon Kesich, kicker, Jack Henderson, defensive back, Elijah Spencer, wide receiver, Marcus Major, running back, Ethan Robinson, cornerback. Any of those names pop off as like, bro, they might get drafted, or are all these dudes scrapping it out and hopefully they all find a way to make it on as an undrafted guy?
Every NFL team should hope that they draft Dragon Kesich because he is a media dream. You just put him on the social. The social team is going to love him. Like, I want him on a team so bad, strictly just so I can see the clips of practices. The stuff he says, he's a nut. Who else was I? Oh my gosh. Then, oh my God. Who was I? The offensive lineman. List me the offensive lineman.
Cooper or Carroll?
Quinn Carroll. Quinn Carroll, I think, is actually kind of intriguing to me just because he has a lot of tape as well. You know, from Notre Dame to here, and he's interesting. I don't know if he'll necessarily
right tackle.
What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he can play damn near any position on the line. He's got experience and the size. He's got the size for it. So I think his measurables are nice too. I wouldn't be shocked if he went seventh round, but I think he's a guy who will find his way into the league and find a spot because he's obviously coachable.
Yeah, I think Quinn's going to be undrafted for me. I think it's going to be like Blaze Andrews, a dude that like he's going to interest some teams. Even Chuck Filiaga, when he was here for that 2 years, was he 2 years? He got some interesting signed with a practice squad and what have you. But I think Quinn Carroll's going to find a way either to a practice squad, undrafted free agent of some sort. But I think he's going to have to do it the hard way. Jack Henderson is, in my opinion, the most underrated of all these guys not named Daniel Jackson. But I think he's going to have to do it the hard way. And Ethan Robinson is the one of all of them. I think all of them do it the hard way. Ethan Robinson's the one that I'm like, okay, he maybe has a shot, but I think he's still probably going to have to do it the hard way.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of those. Ethan Robinson, he could go seventh round. You don't think seventh round?
I think he could. I wouldn't be surprised if he crept in. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be like, oh yeah, that checks out. All right, now we're gonna fly through.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fly through these guys, the ones that we said we thought would get drafted. So all those guys we said do it the hard way, we're not going to place them. But the guys that we said think they're gonna get drafted, name a dream team. We'll each just pick one, whether it's vibes, whether it's system, whatever, and we'll just kind of fly through this one. So Ariante Ursary.
Again, I'm vibes. I'm strictly vibes. I don't know what kind of schemes these teams run. I don't know nothing, but I just like the look of him in the uniform. Ariante Ursary, I kind of like him in the Eagles. I hate the Eagles. I hate the Eagles.
The all huge big man team where everyone's like 6'7", 330 pounds.
It's just I can see him. Yeah, like I can see him in an Eagles uniform. I mean that O-line, not a lot of brothers on that O-line, but but I'm just saying I could see it. It's like a gritty town. Like I could see it.
All right, so my gut wants to say the Chiefs, like sneak them into the second last pick of the first round. I'd love it, but I said early second, so I can't do that. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. I feel like the Patriots always invest in linemen, and I feel like he's that big dude that has the athleticism that like you want to protect your future quarterback Drake May and things like that. I feel like he just feels like a good fit in there, and I know he met with them in the Senior Bowl and things like that. I'm sure he met with like probably 30 of the teams or 28 of the teams out there. So I'm gonna go Patriots. All right, Ja Joyner.
Okay, I got Ja. Ooh, what did I put down for Ja? Oh, I have him going to the Saints. Only because I really like the uniforms and like that like '08 Saints defense. He would just fit right in there. Right? Was that the Bounty Gate team?
Yeah, I think so. It was right around then. It was right around.
Not that he's dirty or anything, but like he's got that griminess to him. That's why I kind of like him on the Saints.
Pairing up with Jordan Howden.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I think Debo's like, bro, go get my guy. Go get my guy. Like, I'm
Yep.
not going to vouch for anybody else. I mean, if we want to sign Danny Shergow undrafted, let's do it. But I'm going to go get my guy, John Joyner. I've put in so much work with this dude. I know that he's got what it takes, blah, blah, blah. He's going to fend for his guy, Jonathan Gannon. Bro, if you do anything for me, this is the one thing I want. Arizona Cardinals, John Joyner.
Okay.
All right. Justin Wally.
Justin Wally. Okay, so I was looking at him and I got 3 teams. And it's just one of the Birds teams. It's got to be a Bird team. It's either the Cardinals, the Falcons, or the Seahawks. Don't know why. I just picture him on a Bird team. In those uniforms, I can just see him in the backfield. What?
What about the Ravens?
No, I don't see him in the Ravens uniform. Falcons and Seahawks is actually where I'm at. Falcons. I say Falcons.
All right, I'm split. I'm split on 2 here. My heart wants me to say Green Bay. Come on over, be a cheesehead. We need some cornerbacks, and usually when you really need a position in Green Bay, they take like 4 of them. Like we need a safety one year, we took like 3 different safeties.
Actually, he looked pretty good.
So like cornerback, I'm like, bruh, he's gonna be like that 4th, 5th round type guy. Yep, come on over. But my other split decision here. Second choice is Tampa Bay. Antoine Winfield's like, look, he's a dog. You like the Gophers, you like O'Keefe, you like me. You like Bucky, who was kind of a Gopher for a little bit?
Oh, he's a Gopher for life. Gopher for life. Bucky's a Gopher for life.
Antoine's going to be like, bruh, he was like a freshman with me. Baller. Let's get it.
I like it. It really is the Tampa Bay Gophers down there.
Yes. Tampa Bay Gophers, Tampa Bay Giants, Tampa Bay Ravens. The 3 of them have like all of the Gophers players. Ooh, that just sparked something for me. Cody Lindenberg. I got my pick. I don't know if you got your pick, but I'm ready for this one.
I have mine already too.
Cody Lindenberg is going to the New England Patriots. Look it.
Give it to me.
Mike Vrabel was the Tennessee Titans coach.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel loved Jack Gibbons. Mike Vrabel went and got Thomas Rush. Mike Vrabel is going to be like, bro, I love me some Gopher linebackers.
All the Gopher linebackers.
Give me the goat.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I had him in the Texans just because I was thinking Nico. Like he would be such a good player for Nico. Like the intelligence. It all goes back to the intelligence. Yeah. So I could see him in that Texan system. It could be Blake Cashman syndrome too, though. Yeah. I just see him in that uniform.
All right. Next one, we split the difference there. So Daniel Jackson would be the next one.
Okay, so Daniel Jackson, I had some troubles with him. I pictured slot receiver in New England. Slot receiver in New England is what I thought, but that was Belichick's New England. That's not what they're at right now. And then I got to thinking, what colors do I want to see him in? And that put me right to the Washington Commanders. So he teams up with Ben St. Juste, and I'm going Commanders.
Dog, I'm going to do this one for the fans. I'm going to say the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings have a ton of receivers, right? You got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Addison, you got some dude, is it Naylor, who's like pretty good third receiver right now? But I'm saying the Vikings because I'm saying Daniel Jackson isn't the dude that's going to be your immediate starter or anything like that. He's a dude who go gets it out of the mud. And you know who did that? Adam Thielen. And if anybody has a shot to go dig it out of the mud as a late pick or undrafted or anything like that and get a real shot, it's the Vikings. And I think because of the local ties, I think with PJ having some pull maybe a little bit here and there, I like him with the Vikings.
And then year 1 gets a Super Bowl ring. That'd be pretty dope. Good for him. Good for him. Just kidding. Sorry, Brev. It's Cowboys. It's Cowboys. Sorry, it's our year. I forgot it's our year. I be forgetting that I have to be a Cowboys fan sometimes.
Tell Brev I just made a trade in my Dynasty Fantasy Football League and I went and got Dak Prescott. That's how I got you, Brev. I got you.
It's our year. It's our year. That's a $200 million man right there.
Hey, I'm not saying all that, but I got you. All right. I think we only got 2 left here. 2 left, maybe only 1 left. Max Brosmer.
Max, I had Broncos, but I think that might be a white quarterback situation that I got. Sean Payton loves underdog white quarterback. Am I tripping?
Oh no, that's real. That's real.
Sean
right
Payton.
There. All right, I'm going with a Shanny system type thing. I was gonna say San Francisco, like he'd be the perfect backup for like Brock Purdy or something like that. But that seems too easy. That seems too easy to do. You know what I would absolutely love? If the Rams went and got him, and he got to learn from Matthew Stafford for like a
Yes.
couple years, and then Matthew Stafford decides to call it a wrap in like 2 to 3 years or something like that. And instead of like going and getting
6.
some
Yeah.
huge name, they're like, bro, we got Matthew Stafford Jr. His arm might not be as big, but the intellect that you're seeing from this dude, it's right there. And it's funny because I just watched a interview with PJ Fleck in the Big Ten Network, and he said that he is the smartest player that he's ever been around. And he reminds him on the intellect side of how quickly he sees the game, understands the game, reads the game, and can like make decisions and speak intelligently about it all. He brought up
Hmm.
Dan Orlovsky. You know who Dan Orlovsky was the backup to? Matthew Stafford. Full circle. Let's make it happen. Sean McVay, get my boy.
Yep. Yep. I like that. I like that.
All right, the last one we're going to do, we didn't necessarily say he gets drafted, but I want you to do it for the vibes. Dragan Kesic, what team?
Oh man, I didn't write this one down, dog. Dragon. Where does he need to be? He needs to be somewhere fun, somewhere awesome that doesn't score a lot of touchdowns, so they always need him out there.
And he
Like,
needs to do like a specific dance after every made field goal. Too.
yeah, like I was thinking Raiders because they I feels like they need a field goal, but that's too serious of a franchise for
Too
him.
serious, especially if Tom Brady has his hand in that now. Nah, he's like,
Yeah,
no
that's
games,
way too serious.
no games.
What about like Jacksonville? Jacksonville would be dope, dog. Have him down there.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Have him down there in Duval. You know how much fun he would have in Duval.
Yeah, but I feel like they're just not like they're. I don't even know if they're fun anymore. They're just like a joke. You know what I
It's
mean?
just a
Like they just
bummer.
can't get it together.
It
You
went
went and
from
got
being a
this
joke to a bummer.
generational player in Trevor Lawrence, and yet we're over here like, bro, is he even good? Like, I can't do that one. I need something more fun, more,
More fun. Oh
bruh.
man.
I got it. It's not gonna happen. Send him to the Buffalo Bills because their
Yes.
fan base is
Bills
jumping through
Mafia.
tables.
Bills
Their fan base would
Mafia.
embrace him, and he would
They
be out
need
there
him.
in the thick of it. I'm talking shirtless in the winter, jumping through
What?
tables. He would kick the ball, watch it go through, and jump through a table after he did it, and be like on the camera.
What?
Like,
Why isn't Dragon at warm-ups? Because he's out in the parking lot. Tailgate.
yes, bro. Dragan
Oh,
Kesich, Buffalo Bills, make it happen. Make it
boom.
happen.
Confirmed.
All right, fans, friends, if you've listened this far, we've got one more thing for you here. This is going to be probably our longest show so far, but it's worth it. It's vibes, man. It's vibes. We're going to
Absolutely.
fly through a way too early Big Ten rankings now. Like I said, it's way too early. So we're not going to explain ourselves too much, Mike. If you got a reason or two, then go for it. But we're going to start from the bottom and go up. I just want you to name your last place team and give me one reason why, and then I'll name my last team one reason why, and we'll go through all 18 really quick and not drag this thing out too much. But what do we got for number 18?
Okay, 18, I still got Purdue. They're going to suck. They sucked this year. They're going to suck again.
I switched it up. And I went Maryland. Now, Maryland was right down there at the bottom as well, and Maryland lost their quarterback, who was like everything for them on offense, and they lost their top two receivers. And I just like vibes are low, bro. Vibes are low.
Yeah. Not
All
fun.
right,
Actually,
17. I'll take this one first. Northwestern. So I got Purdue bumping up a couple slots. Northwestern though, bro, they're still whack. They're still whack.
yeah, I had a two-way tie between them and Maryland. So it's going to be one or the other because
Okay.
and I think Northwestern actually has not the easiest schedule next year either.
Yeah. All right, so then you did your back to back there. So my 16 will be Purdue. They bump up 2 slots, not too far, but their new coach, right? UNLV, he just balled out with them, right? I went and looked at his coaching record, and he's like always been like 5, 6, 7, 8 wins with like Missouri, and then UNLV had like 4, 6, 11 wins. So I'm just like, is he really that good? Are we sure that like this is the dude? Like, I don't know. So I think they're going to be back in the bottom somewhere.
Fair.
All right, next up for me, it's UCLA. I've got them at 15. I think that, bro, after I saw that conference with their coach last year at the Big Ten Media Days, where he just like was the most unprepared, like, bro,
Like nobody told me I had to talk at this.
I'm saying, like, ever since I
Crazy.
saw that, like, he could end up being one of the best coaches ever. It's not going to happen, but he could, and I would feel bad, but I can't watch that and think that he's really going to find a ton of success. Now they find a way to get 5 wins last year. I think they can stay around 5, 6 wins. I don't think they're going to get a ton of improvement, so I've got them at 15.
Fair enough. I have Wisconsin next. They are.
Oh
I
boy.
dog. They got to play Alabama again this year. They still got to go through the Big Ten. Like that's my thing is that like they are just not. It's not going to be their year.
Yo, I saw a projections article from 247 that said that the Gophers were going to go 6-6, even though if you looked at all the wins they listed, it was 7-5, so they didn't even count that up right. But they had Wisconsin as one of those 5 losses. I was like,
No way. No way.
what are you watching?
No, it's our.
What
It's
did you see from Fickle that makes you think it's going to get better? Because I
we
didn't
talked
see
about
it.
it. These are our big brother years. Like we
Big
talked
brother.
about it a little bit. Like in the rivalry, like it's gonna go. It's gonna be us for a minute. I think.
But I still got them a little higher. I got Michigan State at 14. Rossi and the defense is starting to get things clicking, but I believe in nothing on that offense, and so I'm just not there for it.
That's fair.
What do you got
Uh,
for 14?
that's where I had Michigan State.
Oh, tied. Perfect. All right,
Yep.
13, I've got Rutgers. I've got Rutgers. They lost a lot of big pieces from their defense, from their O-line, I think. I'm not 100% sure if I'm right on the O-line. Running back, gone. So Ethan's back, and Ethan was balling for them a little bit. He got them some
hmm
good wins. I think they ended up winning 7 games in the regular season. They beat us. They shouldn't have. They beat us. So I got them at 13.
I next at 13. I wait. Is this my 13 or 12? What did I just give you? Michigan State.
13.
So I have Washington is next where I have
Okay.
them. I just have no clue what is going on with like they went on that championship or not championship, but they went to the championship and then
Yeah, yeah.
since then it just feels like who knows what's going on there.
That's because all the coaches left. They were like, bro, we hit the
Yeah, the
ceiling. Get
coaches
out.
left,
Get
the
out.
players transferred. Like I don't know who's there. I don't know nothing about it. I watched one Washington game all year.
I got Washington a little higher, but my 12 is Wisconsin. I've got Wisconsin here at 12. I'm with you that I just haven't seen enough from Fickle to have any sort of belief that they're going to recover. On top of playing Alabama, on top of the Big Ten being just better and better each and every year, I'm not there. My 11 is USC. I've got USC coming in at 11 just outside the top 10, and it's because I'm not sold that their quarterback like they got a freshman quarterback coming in, but are they going to play him? Or are you
Ye-
going to go with your guy? Not Miller Moss, he left, but the other guy who came in after him last year. Is he going to start this year? No belief there. Their defense still wasn't amazing last year. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. And then like Woody Marks, the running back, left, and I'm just nothing excites me about USC.
Yeah, I do have USC a little higher. Here I have UCLA
Okay.
because I again don't really know. And partially I only put these like USC and UCLA up as high as they are. Is it's easy to recruit there. It's
Yeah,
not too hard.
that's
You don't
true.
have to twist anyone's arm to live in LA.
Especially
So
if you can keep the California kids. So.
yeah, exactly. So that's a big part of it for me at least.
All right, we're cranking in the top 10. My 10 is Washington. I've got Washington. They got this young quarterback. They were working him in last year, even though they had the senior transfer, and they are excited about this dude, and he's got me excited too. But I actually know, so they got their starting running back who is going to be an NFL guy, Jonah Coleman. But the guy behind him, to me, is way more exciting. I know this dude. His brother played at the school that I was a part of the staff for a little bit, and this dude is like stupid good. Like they were so happy that they got this guy under the radar, and I think he's going to get some time this year. But after Coleman leaves, bro, Adam Muhammad, mark that name down. He is going to be in 2026. I think he's going to be a top 5 back in the Big Ten.
Okay. Bet. I have as number 10, I have USC right there.
Okay.
Again, I don't know. Maybe they can recruit some guys. It's California. Like you can get guys to go there, to live there. That's all my analysis for that.
All right, number 9, I've got Nebraska. Nebraska is climbing up. They're making things happen. Dylan Raiola, I'm excited about him. Now, Mini Mahomes out there, maybe, hopefully, he can keep the ball on his team side. He did have some interception issues last year, but the dude's
I saw
talented.
something on Twitter that said he should dress like Jalen Hurts this year. Just switch it all the way up.
Dang. They went crazy on him. But hey, I think he's good. The only thing that makes me have them lower is I think Tony White was huge, their defensive coordinator, and they lost him. So I can't put them any higher without seeing what's going to happen on defense.
Fair. I have Nebraska. I'm in the exact same spot. So
I think a lot of these are going to start to come together here, but I'm curious to see if this is where you are for me. At 8, I got Minnesota. I got Minnesota
Mm.
at number 8 in the conference. I think the biggest question mark, they could be lower if Drake Lindsay doesn't ball out, but if he is what I think he is, I think they're going to find themselves in a similar spot as last year, competing in that 8 win season. And if everything plays right, and you probably still drop it to Ohio State and Oregon, but if everything else plays clean, then maybe you do win the 10 wins that Tristyn's talking about.
Ten and
So
two.
I've got them
10-2.
probably around 8 wins or so, and so I think they fall in at this 8th spot.
If we actually go 10-2, I will get a 10-2 tattoo.
No, you won't.
I'll say that right now.
No, you
yes,
won't.
I will.
You'll get
If
a
we go
temporary.
10-2 and I called it last season,
You'll get a temporary tattoo, or no, you won't.
nah, bro.
Bro,
I'll
if you
get
were
it
gonna
somewhere
get a
small. I
Gophers
get a little
tattoo,
10-2 tattoo somewhere.
if you were gonna get a Gophers tattoo or anything related to something with the Gophers, it would
It'll
have.
just say 10-2. It'll
I
just
was
say
gonna
10
say.
and 2.
I was gonna say that would have happened when your brother was on the team. There's no way you'd get one after.
If they actually go 10-2, dog, and I called it from that long ago, that would be awesome.
Put it on your
Please.
middle finger, so that way every time
I
you
know
look at me
ball,
on
yeah,
the show,
literally
you
just
can show me the
10-2.
tattoo.
Oh, for my 8th spot, I have Indiana. They were awesome this year. They had a great season, and I think it's over. I'm like not over, but I think they're gonna fall from grace a little bit.
Yeah.
Not that it's over, but I mean they're ranked second in the Big Ten. Did they finish?
I think they finished second in the Big Ten. Yep, ahead
Yeah.
of
So I
Ohio
think
State.
I got them at 8.
Ahead of
Yeah,
national champion Ohio State.
that is insane. That's fair.
I have Indiana at 7. Same thing. I think that they are going to still be a very competitive team. They'll
Yeah.
get to a bowl game for sure. They'll
Their
probably
coach is
be in the
awesome.
full. Yeah, the Signetti. He's a real deal. Like Google him.
Mhm.
But overall, I think that they're going to be in that 7th spot for me.
7th spot for me is Iowa.
Whoo!
Yep, and that's only because, well, next I have the Gophers at 6, and I was thinking in my brain I had Iowa at 6, and I was like, wait, we're going 10-2, we're beating Iowa, so we're ahead of Iowa, so I had to put Iowa at 7.
I've got Iowa at 6. I think that they're going to be really good. The quarterback they have coming in is actually the quarterback that beat Max Brosmer for the Walter Payton Award at the FCS, the FCS Heisman, basically. This is the guy that beat him for it. They just brought him in.
Oh.
He's a really good quarterback. I believe he got to a national championship with South Dakota State, if I'm not mistaken. Super talented dude overall, and I think that Iowa might actually have a quarterback. That's crazy to hear my... Now, we cursed him, of course. Like, he's going to be like all the other Iowa quarterbacks. But my number 5, Illinois. Illinois balled out. Their schedule does not scare me that much this year. And the Gophers aren't on their schedule, so that's nice. But overall, they've got Altmaier back. Altmaier was super talented last year, and they've got a lot of pieces coming back. And Brett Bielema just finds a way to win games. So I've got them at 5.
Yeah, I love Brett Bielema. I have Michigan at 5. I think they're going to bring some guys in and kind of get back to where they're going because they could still recruit with the best of them. They've got NIL money, coming out of their ears. So I think they get back to where they want to be this year.
Yeah, I've got Michigan at 4. So Michigan is my 4th. I also believe they brought him some dudes. The number 1 player in the entire class last year, the quarterback, he'll probably be starting games for them next year. I think he's the real deal. People are comping that dude's play style to Lamar Jackson, which is like nutty to think about. We might see Lamar Jackson in the Big Ten. That would be crazy. But I think that the defense is still going to be really good. Offensive line is going to improve, and they just brought in a running back from Bama, who was a 5-star dude. So I think overall they're headed in the right direction. They beat Ohio State with their scrub team last year, so I mean they're on the rebound.
Yeah, I basically flip-flopped. I have Illinois at number 4. Just again, I think their schedule is not insane, and Bielema finds a way to win.
All right, so we got the same top 3, but I think they're going to be in different orders. I'm ready to shock the world on this one. But my number 3 is Oregon. I think Oregon's going to be real good. I think that the thing is they might take a step back at quarterback. I know Tez Johnson was amping up their Dante Moore from UCLA, but the dude was a turnover machine his freshman year. I think he's still going to be improved and better, but he's not Dylan Gabriel, who had 5-6 years under his belt. He's not Bo Nix, who had 5-6 years under his belt. So I think there's going to be a learning curve still, and I got Oregon at 3.
We are lock in step. I got them there too for all those same reasons. Like the quarterback is going to be a huge part for them, but I think they're going to be good still.
All right, who's your two?
Penn State.
Okay, okay.
Oh, you got the opposite. Okay, I got Penn State. I mean, they had a great season. I don't think they're going to win a national championship because I don't love Franklin. I just don't love him. But I mean they're going to still compete. Their defense is going to be good. Is that tight end getting drafted though?
Yep.
Is he going to the league?
But
See,
they got
that's
some
a big
young
part.
dudes that are nasty. I think Luke Reynolds and Andrew Rapala, those are their next
Yep.
guys up, and they're going to be balling. I've got Ohio State at two. I think people will probably call me crazy for this. They just won the national championship. They got Jeremiah Smith coming back. That dude is like
Yeah.
Julio Jr. out here. But I think they also have Caleb Downs coming back, who is possibly the best defensive player in the country coming back. So it might sound stupid, but Julian Sand, five-star quarterback, he also could be a baller. But they lost Will Howard, who I wasn't high on in the first place, but lost him. Lost Aaron Noland, who was a commit coming in. Lost Lincoln Kineholz. Lost Devin Brown. I mean, if Julian Sand isn't him, who else is going to play quarterback at this point? They got a five-star freshman coming in, Tevin St. Clair, but again, how much pressure can you put on a freshman coming off a national championship? And now you're either going to start a redshirt freshman or start a true freshman. Like, I don't know. Whereas for me on the flip, I got Penn State at one. They got Aller back. Now, yes, Aller makes some stupid decisions
Yeah,
sometimes,
I was
but
about to
dude
say
has a
that guy will throw a
huge
doy doy.
he has a huge arm. He's back. You've got both of those nasty running backs back. You've got Danny Dennis Sutton, who's one of the best players on the defensive line coming back. You've got a starting center coming back. They've got a ton of dudes coming back. And then they were like, yo, Ohio State, we see your natty, right? We're going to take your defensive coordinator and we're going to pay him more money and he's going to come and be on our squad now. And you know what? We're probably going to ask him for some of the deep down secrets because if you don't think that their defensive coordinator for Ohio
Oh,
State that's been at the helm for like the past 2 to 3 years now isn't going to give up how they approached this on offense and how they approached this and what was their mindset in this situation and blah and blah and blah. Like, bro, he's going to be out. If there's one game on that dude's calendar, it is the Ohio State game. And it's because he wants to absolutely obliterate them for not giving him the respect he felt was due.
I was gonna say they got him in the regular season and they play in playoff. They potentially, if everything goes as planned, they would see each other in the playoffs. I bet. So
Right.
I think that'd be sweet.
I think with so many returners coming back for them and you stole that defense
Yeah, that
coordinator,
is a
bro,
lot
sign
of
me up.
guys coming
I'm
back.
on the hype train. Let's get it.
You might have talked me into Penn State. I just don't like Penn State. I don't know what it is. That one, I'm a vibes guy. Those uniforms suck. They stink. I hate Penn State's uniforms. They're so boring. They're so boring.
Hey, but that's going to do it for us. We had our way too early Big Ten rankings. We had our Gophers NFL draft talk. Hopefully you liked some of this. If you have any other thoughts for show ideas, drop them in the comments below. Send us a message on Twitter, what have you. We appreciate you for tapping in. Let other Gophers fans know about this show, and we will see you next time. Until then, row the boat, Sky, go Gophers as always. And please don't forget to hit subscribe. And if a parent says no, listen to them.